So I just looked into it, and apparently it would seem that I am the only person on this platform, at least as of right now, that has any content related to the new Jazzwares Radioactive Foxy figure. And I made a short about that, and then I looked up to see if anyone else made any content, because I got the figure in and nobody has. So instead of being selfish to myself with the figure, here you go. Here's what the box looks like. It's got that shiny Jazzwares Vault exclusive on it. My one problem with these boxes is that there's no front plastic, like there's no window. It's literally like this right here is the little clamshell thing that, holds the actual endo suit and pieces inside. And then the box, like, these windows are actual windows, but, like, there's no window on the front. It is different, though, on the back of the box, where it does show that, but this looks like, a different rendition of Radioactive Foxy. It doesn't look like the actual product. I mean, it kind of does, but not fully. I don't know. But it also shows, the other Endo series with their counterparts next to them. Their suits, and obviously Mangle with, Shadow Mangle, i.e. the VR one. But yeah, no, that's the entirety of the box. There's nothing really inherently special about it other than, just that. And these ones, I don't think were numbered like the Shadow Bonnies are going to be. And for whatever reason, this came in first before him, despite I ordered him before I ordered this. Cool. Anyway, I'm sure you're tired of looking at the box. We're going to go ahead and move on to the figure itself. Provided I can actually get him over here. Wabam! That's not the figure. I fooled you. Wabam! There he is. I want to be honest, I just grabbed the wrong figure and I just kind of rolled with it. But this is Radioactive Foxy. He's pretty cool. He's here for comparison. I will say that the thighs are a little bit weird because they have teeny tiny little pegs that hold those together. Whereas like the actual Endo suit, like the regular Foxy suit, they have thicker pegs. So I worry about the longevity of these, about taking them off and putting them back on. Same with, I guess, the other toy animatronic suits for high score and all that stuff. But it's fine. One thing that of noteworthy that I did mention in my YouTube short that I did on my channel, his feet are small in comparison to, and yes, we're doing this very haphazardly because I only have one hand for this right now. His feet are indeed, well, okay, if I can get it lined up properly. His feet are about the same size. Actually, a little bit just bigger by a hair. I think I said that these were smaller. I don't know. These are slightly bigger than these, but they're basically the same size. Whereas the original, which is right here, this one, it's actually smaller than this. I don't know why. But these are different sizes. And I don't understand fully why, but it is interesting. Those comparisons aside, not that it really mattered, it's just a very weird observation that my brain made. Let's get to the actual figure. Let's look at him, because let's face it, that's what everyone's here for. He's got his mouth opens up and stuff. It's pretty cool. You turn him around, and, it's just the rest of him, and a little text inside, and, I do actually like him fully put together. I like him a little bit more than him with the regular Foxy outfit, which is kind of cool. Obviously, he got his one translucent green Endo hand, which I kind of wish that they had, a second one to go with it, just because it feels a little bit incomplete now. Honestly, I kind of wish we had an entire Endo skeleton in this green, because you already got the legs and the feet and a hand. Might as well, commit to the bit, so to speak. The Endo itself is no different than any other Endo series. From what I could tell, at least to me, it felt like it was a little bit cheaper of a plastic. It was like a little bit more matte, not as glossy as like some of the other ones, which the Endos aren't really super glossy anyway, but they feel a little bit more slick to the touch is what I'm saying. Whereas him, he just kind of feels more matte than anything. And for whatever reason, his tummy is very glossy, whereas the rest of him is very matte. Which is just a weird observation, I guess. It's painfully obvious when you look at him, but, it's not that bad. And in terms of the eyeballs, hold on a second. In terms of his little goobly goos, that's what his eyeballs look like. It's a little clip now instead of like a solid peg. I don't know why they did that, other than like people kept complaining that these were hard to get out. And so they did this with like newer releases, which I guess that's fair. But not gonna lie, I kind of prefer the full peg than these teeny tiny little clips. Because let's face it, if one of those pieces breaks off, you're screwed, dude. You can't fix that. The only way to fix it is to glue it in there. And let's think about that for a second. That's a permanent solution to a, actual permanent problem. My point being, if you don't care about swapping the eyes around and you just want to swap the pieces around, like the suit pieces, cool, go for it. You can. But, again, if these break, you're kind of, you're Dunyan rings, you're screwed. And I don't like that. And obviously we have regular Radioactive Foxy for comparison. He's a little bit deeper of a green, and I like this rich green a little bit more. This one's a little bit brighter in the light, so it glows a little bit. Looks more, I guess, like Radioactive Foxy, which is nice. Their eyes are the same shade of yellow. I'm just now noticing that. And I've already touched base on this in the YouTube short, but their hooks are very, very different. They're the same fundamentally, but different. Like, his is a little bit more, I don't know, it's a bit more curved inward. It looks like the Omega symbol a little bit. And then you have his, which is a lot more pointy, and it's got this back plating right here with these little rivets or studs sticking out. And his doesn't have that. I wish his at least had that, but I could see why they didn't do it, because it would hinder articulation, whereas this just swivels. This actually, bends in and out. I guess that makes a little bit of sense. Outside of that, there's not really much else to compare to the two, other than, everything's going to be different on the Funko as compared to the Jazzwares, and he does have an endo in him, and so does this one, but the only difference is you can take the pieces off of him, you can't with him. I've seen several videos where people, break that off just to have, an endo figure, which makes sense, I guess. But, yeah, no, it's literally just that. I'm not even going to bother to show off the, I'll show off, one piece of it, I guess. The, regular Foxy costume. If I can actually grab a piece, there we go. It was just the first piece I grabbed. It literally is just this. I don't have the regular Endo Series Foxy with Withered Foxy, so I can't say definitively if the Radioactive Foxy's classic Foxy suit is better, the same, or worse than, what have you. To me, it looks, it's a little bit orangish red. I don't know if the regular Endo Series with Withered Foxy parts is a little bit more red than this, or if it's the same. I do know that the Freddy and Shadow Freddy, the Shadow Freddy outfit, or the regular Freddy that came with the Shadow Freddy parts, was a much better Freddy in terms of, the overall paint and color was better. So I can't really say the same for this. Eventually, I'd like to be able to. But it's nice. It's not bad. It's good. But, there's that. So, yeah, no, that is Radioactive Foxy. Also, sorry for not having any kind of, edits or what have you. I need to get a new cable so I can hook it up to my phone, to my PC, so I can actually, transfer clips and stuff. I might actually take this video down later on, put music in the background, and then an outro. If not, then this will probably just be there permanently. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, no, that's Radioactive Foxy. That's the difference with his eyeballs and his suit. I mean, obviously it's going to look different on camera, but it's a thing. So, yeah, cool. There you go. There's a Radioactive Foxy video.